got it?
I think so, yes, I think so. Weber, my notebook.
What's the matter?
I thought I heard someone outside.
He's always hearing things since he got that message.
What message?
A message I do not quite understand.
From whom?
That's just it, I don't know.
But you think it's from this mysterious rescuer, huh?
I believe it came from him, yes. I believe I shall be got safely away. I wouldn't be the first, you know.
And you'll go on with your work somewhere else, out of reach of the Nazis.
Of course.
You've always refused to work for them, haven't you?
I would sooner die. My business is to cure, not to kill. Weber, you say you gave the last injection at 4 o'clock?
Yes. Greatly increased resistance. They were definitely better. Seems to be working. There is a man outside. He told me to give you this note.
Let me read it.
Thank you.
The mind of man is bounded only by the universe? What's that mean?
I knew it. Weber, get my hat and coat quickly. And bring my suitcase. Notebook. Pencil.
Please be careful. Please be careful.
What have I to lose?
Good luck, my friend. In my newspaper, Freedom, I shall tell proudly of a German whose brains could not be bought.
Thank you, but I should not advise you.
Oh, I am quite safe. I am a Pole. My country is not at war yet.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Weber, see that they get better. I am ready.
Hurry, hurry.
I think he will be all right.
Dr. Benkendorf?
He has gone away.
That car that just left, follow it.
You are wasting your time.
Sidimir Kozlovsky, isn't it? Our time isn't entirely wasted. You've saved us a journey.
Inside.
Get this, it's hot. Another big escape just been pulled off.
Please, yes, I said, how's the reputation? That's a headline. Mystery man, hoodwinks me.
No, nobody knows who he is.
Gentlemen, please, gentlemen.
The Minister of Propaganda instructs me to inform all foreign correspondents that rumors of a mysterious personage helping enemies of the state to escape from Germany are without foundation. We can assure you there have been no such escapes, and there is no such rescuer. Furthermore, in Nazi Germany, no one can hope to be saved by anybody.
Jordan. Jordan.
Yes, sir?
Jordan, you're nothing better than a vandal, a Goth, a spiritual descendant of the Huns, whose primary object was the desecration of beauty.
I wouldn't know what you mean, sir. Not without a dictionary.
Yours is the unique privilege of looking after the fairest goddess of them all, the one sublime woman. And how do you treat her? Look, man. Look.
Sorry, sir. As a matter of fact, I'm very fond of Aphrodite, very fond. But there's so many of them.
So many of them?
Well, in a manner of speaking, there are, aren't there, sir?
If there's only one woman like this, look at the symmetry, look at the grace, look at the dust, Jordan.
Sorry, sir. I'll go and get my feather duster right away, sir.
Fond of her.
Look, girls, there's Juno.
No, madam. Not Juno. Aphrodite Callipygos.
Are you sure?
Well, I ought to know. I discovered her.
Really? She's just come out of her bath. And you see that towel she's holding in her hand?
That is not a towel, madam. It is a heaton, a form of drapery.
It looks like a towel.
Very good. It's a towel to you. It's a heaton to me.
She's the goddess of plenty.
No, 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 no. The goddess of love.
Shh.
Of lawful wedded love.
She's a respectable goddess, girls.
She's practically perfect, as you can see. And in the languishing eye and smiling lips, there is a boundless compassion for the folly and ignorance of a blind world.
Very jolly. Yes, very jolly. Come along, girls.
Professor, the college porter just called for you, sir. You're late.
Late for what?
Your lecture, sir.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. My lecture is until Friday.
But today is Friday, sir.
Good heavens. How extraordinary. Well, what happened to Thursday?
We had it yesterday, sir.
Did we? Did we?
Yes, sir.
Morning.
Good afternoon, sir.
Where's teacher? If he doesn't hurry, the lecture will be over before it starts.
Well, I've sent the porter to write him out.
Half an hour's nothing. He didn't turn up at all last week. Hey, look at that boy. That's beautiful.
I think it's insulting being so late.
Well, what do you expect, baby? Archaeologists are always 1,000 years behind the times.
No, Mr. Maxwell, a mere matter of 35 minutes, which compels me to omit 2/3 of my lecture, for which no doubt you'll be duly grateful. I shall therefore content myself with merely giving you something to think about till our next meeting. The constitution of ancient Greece bears witness to both practical and spiritual influences. For example, every line of the Parthenon either returns to Mother Earth or slopes gently upwards to the heavens. What is that?
That's a? That's a dice.
Dice? What's it doing here?
It showed a regrettable tendency to return to Mother Earth.
We'd better remove it.
Yes, sir.
Give it to me. Mr. Maxwell, I often wonder what persuaded you to join this class.
My old man figured that a course of archaeology would sober me.
He figured in vain.
Anyhow, he was crazy my coming to England.
That I can well understand. But to continue.
Professor, could I have my dice, sir?
To continue. In the Parthenon, we see the working of the spiritual influence, while in the dwelling houses of the Greeks, we find the practical, as emphasized by a strict division of the women's quarters from the men's, an arrangement which, in my view, proves the vast superiority of Greek civilization over our own.
He's always making cracks at us.
Greek women, moreover, were condemned to habitual seclusion, an admirable practice, which unfortunately is not followed in this university.
Do you object to our presence here, Professor?
Oh, I can't object. I can merely deplore it. Now that we've succeeded somewhat elaborately in getting rid of the female students, I'd like to have a word with you. For some time past, I've been making excavations in Central Europe for the purpose of discovering traces of an Aryan civilization. Oh, I'm perfectly serious, gentlemen. It may surprise you to learn that the German government is most interested in the idea. Next week, the term comes to an end. Yes, Mr. Maxwell, it comes to an end. And in the vacation, I've decided that I might take a few archaeology students with me. How does the idea appeal to you?
It appeals enormously to me, sir.
And me, sir. I'd like to come, sir.
So would I, sir, if the financial requirements can be kept within reasonable limits.
I think I can guarantee that, Mr. McIntyre. That's 4. 4. Not a very flattering response.
Would I be allowed to bring my young sister, sir?
No, Mr. Elstead. I'm seeking to avoid the company of females in general and young sisters in particular. I assume you would not be interested, Mr. Maxwell?
No, sir. I spend my vacations in the present, not the past.
Good. Good.
Professor, aren't we asking for trouble going to Germany at a time like this?
Trouble?
Well, I mean, I'd like to come too, but the jolly old balloon might go up at any moment, you know.
Why, I hadn't thought of that. A rough house is just my meat.
Mr. Maxwell, I've already accepted your refusal.
I take it back, Prof. You can count me in.
Oh, but I assure you...
Now, Prof, you might need a few huskies. And I'm a whale at organization. You say the word and I'll run the whole outfit.
Mr. Maxwell, one of the chief attractions of this expedition was the thought that for 3 whole months I wouldn't be seeing you. However... Now, that must remind me of something. Of course, crumpets for tea. Well, think it over, gentlemen. Those of you who want more information can come and see me in the morning. Good day.
I'll be around with the whole thing scheduled after dinner. Come on, boys.
Was brillig and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the way.
Astonishing.
All mimsy.
Ah, Professor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you, pray?
Late for my crumpets, as a matter of fact, which, unlike wine, do not improve with keeping. Good day, sir.
One moment. It may have escaped your memory that I am the dean of this college.
Oh, so you are, sir. I'm so sorry.
But you will hardly have forgotten Dr. Benkendorf.
My goodness, the guinea pig.
My old friend, how good it is to see you.
Well, it must be nearly 20 years.
All of that, I am afraid.
Ah, this is wonderful. How are the experiments coming along? I tell you what, you must come round to my rooms after hall and we'll talk the clock around.
May I remind you that the doctor is my guest?
No. You're both of you my guests. Come along. Well, goodbye.
Extraordinary fellow.
Well, now that the dean has left us, tell me all about it. The serum was a success, eh?
I left before I had the final proof.
No, that was too bad.
On the other hand, I still have my life.
It's hard to believe conditions are as bad as you say.
Worse, my friend. My escape was a miracle.
So it seems.
I very much regret I am unable to thank my rescuer.
By the way, who was he? And how on earth did he manage it?
I have no idea. He came and went like a shadow. An invisible bodyguard. Every detail was arranged for me from the time I left my home.
Regular Cook's tour, eh? Well, anyway, you're safe and alive and able to get on with your work.
Yes. I like to believe it was because of my work that he did it.
Not a bad reason.
It is difficult for people like us to understand the motives of a true adventurer. You and I are not men of action, my friend.
No, I hate violence. It seems such a paradox to kill a man before you can persuade him what's right. So uncivilized.
Bless my soul, what's that?
Everything's lined up, Prof, and I brought the bunch along for a final checkup.
I said tomorrow.
Sure, but I caught up on you by 12 hours. Now, look, Chief, here's the itinerary of the times of arrival and departure. An iron ration will be carried by all, and personal luggage restricted to 28 pounds. Now, we're all set to go.
Go away. Don't you realize that I've...
Oh, sorry. Sorry, sir. Oh, say, Prof, can I have my bones? Dice.
No, they're my bones now.
You're welcome, Prof. See you in the morning.
Good heavens. Did I dream all that?
I'm afraid not. We're all set to go.
Und wenn dieser Wille stärker ist als Not und Gefahr, dann wird er Not und Gefahr als Brechen.
My home is in Oi.
Oi?
Oi. But when I am on duty, I am billeted at the chalet.
You think he'll bite me?
No, not unless I tell him to.
Come here, gentlemen. I want you to meet a friend of mine from Oi.
Hello, how are you?
I say, Professor, we're not going to walk right on out of Germany today, are we? My feet are giving out.
Do you think they'll manage to carry you another 20 hours, Mr. Gregson?
Well, what's all this barbed wire for?
We are at the German-Swiss frontier, gentlemen, and the barbed wire is to prevent the oppressed Swiss from escaping into free Germany.
Say, do you see what I see?
What do you mean, the cow?
Yeah, the cow.
Yeah, believe it or not, boys, that's a Bahnhofer cow.
They produce less milk than our Jersey cows.
Oh, really? You must tell me more of your experiences some other time.
Anybody want any beer?
Some
beer? I should say. What about you, Doc?
Come on, Richard. Let's hear from you.
Yes, come on now.
You take the high road and I'll take the low road. I'll be in Scotland never for me and my crew. I'll never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Raglan.
Come on now, boys, Annie Laurie.
Everything all right, Herr Professor?
Everything splendid. And the coffee's excellent.
I'm glad it's to your taste.
Still at it, Prof?
Yes. We shall only be doing about 15 miles tomorrow.
It'll seem like standing still.
Well, have we got our marching orders?
Yeah, just another 15 miles.
Does he never relax?
He's like a man hunted by a conscience, forever forging ahead. There must be a reason for it.
There is. Sex starvation.
Go on.
No kidding.
Maybe you're right.
Well, can't we do something about it?
See, that's quite an idea. Twiddle on that flute, Jock. I'm going into action. Hey, Tootsie!
Now, gentlemen, since you're all in such magnificent spirits, I've decided to alter slightly tomorrow's itinerary. It will now be 20 miles.
20 miles? But that's
We make it 19 miles. Yes. Now, as you all know, we are now at Untersitzenberg, altitude 5,000 feet. In the morning, we shall climb to 8,000 feet. And in the afternoon, yes, on second thoughts, we'll postpone the discussion about the afternoon's operations until later. And so, gentlemen, to bed. The call tomorrow morning is 5:30 a.m.
Hello,
Hello, Hans.
Hello, Hans. Have some coffee.
No, I want to go to bed.
Now, take it easy, Admiral. I never shave in the evening.
It's getting late, Herr Professor.
Thank you for reminding me, my friend. Silence. Go to sleep.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
looking for dames, there aren't enough to go around.
Come.
What do we say?
Yes, come.
Anybody coming here just now?
There's no one here but the English party.
So,
I haven't seen anyone, sir.
are you sure?
Yes, sir. I have been here since I came off duty.
So. Well, he's in Switzerland by now. There'll be the devil to pay for this. Get your post.
You don't expect me to believe that nonsense?
Yes, I do.
It couldn't be the same man.
It might be.
It couldn't be. Here, 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 here. He couldn't be everywhere.
He could.
And last night here on the Swiss frontier. Let's go and see how the reports are coming in.
Right.
What's the latest about Plunker?
Oh, a message from Breslau. No information regarding identity of unknown man who assisted in Karl Plunker's escape.
Still no news of this fellow.
Means trouble for someone. Any news?
Message from Hamburg. No information regarding identity of unknown man who prevented the execution of Joseph Fierz.
Breslau, Hamburg, Belgian frontier, French frontier. All the same, no news.
Plunker seems to have got away. Over the Swiss border, same as Joseph's in Blumenfeld.
Schenkenherz went through Holland. But it's this damn shadow that Graham's after, if we can believe in it.
Well, I do. You call this thing a report? What is the use, Herr Commandant, of the Gestapo arresting enemies of the Reich if you permit them to escape?
Every precaution was taken.
That's no excuse for your conduct.
We are answerable for our conduct to General von Graum, not to his assistant. Kindly have my report delivered.
I'm afraid you'll regret that, Herr Commandant. Please wait outside. Schmidt, take this report to General von Graum.
Yes, sir. Oh, don't you think...
At once.
Yes, sir.
Get out, will you?
Oh, Hoffman.
Yes? Oh, hello, Schmidt.
Take this report. In there.
What is it?
Only the report from the prison commandant about Karl Plunker's escape.
I'm sorry. I was going to have my lunch.
Hoffman, this is an order.
Reich Minister.
Know your enemy. I am told that the English have a secret weapon. Their sense of humor. And I am determined to find out all about it. For instance, P.G. Wodehouse. Listen. The man with the beard sighed. Down in the forest, something stirred. Is that funny?
No, it's not funny.
Good. Now, the famous English humoristic journal, Punch. Young lady at telephone. You say you have met an officer and a gentleman. Well, bring them both up. Not funny?
No, not funny.
Oh, good. Now, Edward Lear. There was an old man of Bengal who went to a fancy dress ball. He said, I'll risk it and go as a biscuit, and the dog ate him up in the hall. Very unfunny.
Yes, very.
Now, Herr Lewis Carroll. Alice through the looking glass. 'Twas Breilig and the slithy tovies did gar and gimble in the Wabi. Painful rubbish.
Very painful.
No, I have come to the conclusion that the English sense of humor is a myth. They have no sense of humor, and therefore they have no secret weapon. The whole thing is a complete bluff.
Yes, yes.
Ah, but wait. When I am Gauleiter of London, I shall see to it that there is no talk of sense of humor.
Oh, you will, Herr Reichsminister.
Well, what is this?
The report on the escape of Karl Planck.
Ah. Schmidt and Marx. Bring them here. Get them! I shall see the prisoner Kozlovsky in 3 minutes. Ah, come in, gentlemen, come in. Incompetent clowns. You have read this report?
I have, sir. I told the prison commandant what to expect.
You did, eh?
The frontiers are watched, all foreigners questioned. It won't be long before we get the man who arranged these escapes.
Oh, then you have his description?
Hardly, sir.
No. And it never occurred to you to question the one man who could give it to you?
Who, sir?
Send in Sidimir Kozlovsky.
Of course.
Just so. A more impatient man might resent having to supply all the brains in his department.
Prisoner Kozlovsky.
Ah, just the man we want to see. I wanted to have a little chat with you about freedom. Oh, not the paper you edit, but your own personal freedom. Well? At our last interview, I asked you to let me have a list of the persons who have contributed matter to your paper contrary to the interests of the Reich.
You did?
Well, suppose we forget that.
It'll save you a lot of disappointment.
And suppose you answer me a much simpler question.
In return for what?
Ticket to Warsaw, the freedom of your own country while it exists.
What do you want?
A description of the man who prevented the arrest of Dr. Benkendorf.
I can't give it.
You were present at the time. A trained observer must have noticed some little peculiarity. How he walked, he talked, his height. What was his nationality?
I've no idea.
Oh, come. I should hate to leave you to the tender mercies of those idiots who've just gone out.
Very well, then. Under duress. He was 7 feet high and covered with red hair.
I see. You are, I believe, a married man.
Correct. But with Europe in its present state, my family is abroad.
Your family consisting of one daughter?
Yes. She's safely in America.
In America? Yes. Thank you. Good day.
Is it the real thing, sir? No, Mr. Gregson, I'm afraid it's just a flint from one of Mr. Hitler's new roads.
That'll for you, Prof.
Oh, thank you. I'm very sorry, Mr. Gregson. Well, look at that. Oh, that's very pretty. An invitation from our embassy in Berlin. Berlin? Oh, that seems an awful long way away.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me you've forgotten we're all set for Berlin tomorrow morning.
Are we?
Sure.
What time are we leaving?
9:52.
Oh, a.m.?
A.M., and I'm going to write it down. 9:52. Now, it's right here in your pocket.
Thank you, thank you. Well, gentlemen, I shall see you on the train. 9:58.
Two.
But where are you going tonight, sir? Aren't you going to stay here?
Probably. Probably.
Thank you.
Don't worry about me.
You know, some guys should go around in a lead.
Get rid of it, you fool.
What are you doing, you two?
Nothing.
You were looking at something.
I was only looking at his hands.
Why?
Because they're the hands of the world's greatest pianist.
Well, who wants to look at the dirty hand of a dirty loafer? I shall report you for this. Name?
Meyer. Karl Meyer.
Get on with your work, or you'll have a taste of this.
How do you expect to be rescued from this place? Nothing but fields, an open country.
I don't know, but I believe. There have been others, you know.
Stop talking there! Next time there's any trouble, it'll be one of you scarecrows.
Gosh, the shadow's been at it again. World-famous pianist escapes from labor camp.
Let's have a look. Karl Meyer, the pianist, is reported to have crossed the French frontier in an exhausted condition. It is
suggested that his escape was effected by the mysterious personage believed to have been responsible for similar rescues of other enemies of the Reich.
What a game, what a game.
Better than burrowing like a rabbit for bits of the past. That guy has guts.
Even a rabbit has guts, Mr. Maxwell.
Sounds awfully sensational. Wonder how he does it.
By taking a chance.
They'll catch him on the hop one of these days. They always catch that sort of bloke, don't they, sir?
In the deplorable argot of you moderns, I wouldn't know.
The man penetrated the camp in the guise of a scarecrow.
In the guise of a scarecrow?
Here, let's have a look.
Guise of a scarecrow. He was undoubtedly wounded, for a ragged coat with a blood-soaked sleeve was picked up when the escape was effected.
Blood-soaked sleeve. Very melodramatic.
Pipped in the arm, eh?
I wouldn't pay too much attention to newspaper reports, gentlemen.
Well, I suppose one can get a wash on this train.
Yes. Yes, that's a good idea. I think I'll have a wash, too.
Okay, wash.
My hands are perfectly clean. What on earth's the matter with you, Captain?
Just so, Mr. Maxwell. But a sensible fellow would keep his mouth shut.
Oh, gee. Well, boy, oh, boy. Well, kick me from here to Christmas.
Apart from the wearisomeness of such an undertaking, I'm the one who should be kicked. For the not unnatural mistake of underestimating your intelligence.
But how did you get into the racket?
Trouble was to keep out of it. You see, when a man holds the view that progress and civilization depend in every age upon the hands and brains of a few exceptional spirits, it's rather hard to stand by and see them destroyed.
But how did you get away with it? You, of all people.
Mr. Maxwell, I'm not a spectacular person. In fact, a natural capacity for melting into the landscape has suddenly proved very useful.
I guess you're one of the greatest guys in creation.
That, Mr. Maxwell, is a gross overstatement. Actually, I'm a singularly weak person who invariably gives way to his impulses.
Fellas, come back here. On all fours.
Well, gentlemen, I hope you feel duly refreshed.
Yes, thank you.
Professor, may I shake you by the hand?
Certainly, Mr. McIntyre, especially as we shall soon be saying goodbye.
Goodbye?
What? What else? Now that you've discovered my guilty secret.
Yes, we've got something to say about that.
Plenty to say.
Yes, we've been talking it over
Yes, sir, we want to be in it, sir.
We are in it, up to the neck and through to the finish.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, we are. Otherwise, I'm afraid we'll have to give the whole show away. Hey, fellas?
Yes, sir, because we really want to be in it.
What is this, gentlemen? Blackmail?
Well, a nice kind of blackmail.
Yes. Yes, I'll attend to it at once. Hello. I can't hear a word. I'll ring you back. Gentlemen, please, I can't hear my own voice. I'm sorry. Is there nowhere else you can go to perpetrate these noises?
Characteristics are purely French.
Rubbish. The phrase or one like it occurs in no fewer than 7 compositions of Lubach's earlier work.
Nothing like it. Well, at least we're agreed about the tempo.
I maintain there is a modulation in the second movement.
But I heard the record and I didn't notice it.
Well, if you'd listened more carefully, you'd have heard that the tempo of the second movement is far slower than the tempo of the third.
Well, you know as well as I do.
Gentlemen, please. Will you be quiet?
Here in this building, we are supposed to know everything that goes on in Germany. You can hardly expect me to believe that these escapes were effected without treachery somewhere.
Herr Reich Minister.
We've given all the information we possess.
If my loyalty is in question, I resign.
Resign. That is your valuable contribution. Sit down. Now, let us examine once more the available evidence. First, a scrap of music whistled in the night.
Your pardon, Herr Reich Minister, it went this way.
No, this way.
No.
Stop that! The origin of the tune is being traced by a committee of experts. Secondly, the corner of a card found in the pocket of the Scarecrow's coat. Send in Herr Ziegler. Where is it?
Here it is.
A piece of pasteboard, gilt-edged, with RSVP printed in copperplate on one side, and the figures 952 in pencil on the reverse. Well?
It must be part of an invitation card, sir.
Oh, well done, Herr Schmaus. And that being so, it is possibly one of a number issued for the same reception. Is it beyond the power of the Gestapo to trace where that reception is being held?
Herr Ziegler is here.
Ah. Where have you got it?
Unfortunately, sir, none of the persons who overheard the whistling that followed each escape has enjoyed a musical education. So we have endeavored to crystallize their renderings into a single musical phrase and score it. There.
I asked you to trace the origin of the phrase.
It starts with the 27th bar of the third movement of Lubach's concerto in G minor. May I play it for you?
No, I will. Sit down. Put on the record made by the Frontier Guard. But don't start it. Lubach's concerto. I don't believe it. Put on the record. Stop it. Well, here at last we have something. Come over here, all of you. You see? Identical.
Absolutely identical. The British Embassy reception. That means he must be English.
Does it? How interesting. And the fact that I, too, have received an invitation means that I must be English. Thank you, gentlemen, for your invaluable help. You may all go. And you. What are you doing here?
I was just collecting some papers.
What for?
I don't know. I always do.
What's your name?
Wagner, Herr General.
Do you like music, Wagner?
Not very much, Herr General.
Do you like this melody?
It's quite nice for an English tune.
Did you say English tune?
Why, of course. An old English song. There's a tavern in the town.
Come here, Wagner.
Herr General.
Don't be nervous. You shall be rewarded. You are a genius. You shall have a signed picture of the Fuhrer. Have a chocolate.
His Excellency the Peruvian Minister, Madame Gordia. Lord and Lady Grabby.
How do you do, sir?
How are you, my dear?
Look at Vera.
The ambassador not here?
No, he had to fly to London.
Oh, things as bad as that, eh?
Well, hope springs eternal, eh?
Herr Reich Minister General von Graum.
My felicitations.
I'm so glad you were able to come.
I never miss an opportunity of cementing the friendship between Britain and the Reich.
Oh, it was very happily put.
I hope you will be able to come to the Nuremberg rally.
Yes, I hope so. What's it in honor of this year?
Peace.
Captain and Madame Leroy. Colonel and Mrs. Channing and Lady Eva Plum.
That man over there.
Where?
By the table. Well, the one by the fireplace with the beard.
Idiot, that's one of our men.
The Right Honourable the Earl of Meadowbrook.
Hello, Bussy. What have you been doing?
Absolutely nothing.
My dear fellow, you mustn't overdo it.
I know.
Ah, the charming Miss Cove.
Good evening, General.
General von Graum.
Oh, yes, of course.
Not a very good memory. Nervous?
Not in the least.
Well, you know what you're looking for.
I have my own idea.
A typical English guards officer, man about town. Or perhaps the explorer type. Strong, silent, resolute.
Guards officer, man about town, explorer.
Perhaps that man there.
Or there. Or there. No, I'm afraid that's not the type I'm looking for.
No?
No. I'm looking for brain, not brawn.
As you will. Anyhow, all I can tell you is that the man we want will be here tonight. See what you can do.
Don't forget the General's name again, will you?
Thank you, sir. Sir Roger and Lady Tadworth. Your card, please, sir. Thank you. This way, please. Thank you, sir. His Excellency the Chilean Ambassador.
Have you got a match?
I'll get you one, sir.
Thank you.
Senor and Senorita Goya.
Old soldiers?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Professor Horatio Smith.
Hello, George.
Hello, Horace.
Well, I've come as I promised.
Oh, that's splendid.
Can I go now?
Oh, I should stay a bit and enjoy yourself.
All right.
It's a nice suit. Did you make it yourself?
Certainly not. A fellow in Cambridge made it for me when I was 17.
Alice, I'd like you to meet my brother, Professor Smith, Lady Willoughby.
Not the Professor Smith. Why, only the other day someone said I was the image of your Aphrodite. What do you think?
Well, it's rather hard to judge. You see, I only know my Aphrodite in the nude.
Horace, I don't know whether these details of your private life...
Yes, well, to the pure, all things are pure.
I should take things a bit easy.
It's all right. My head's like iron.
In more ways than one, believe me.
See, there's the prof. And it looks like he wants me.
You mean us?
Who was that?
I've no idea. He's here.
How do you know?
I've just been upstairs and...
Have you noticed that, sir?
I do my best not to, Mr. Gregson.
I'll bet she's got a headache holding that up.
Yes, let that serve as a reminder to you, gentlemen, that the rendezvous is 11:30 at Vorax.
And
I think I know who he is.
Oh, do you?
But I don't speak until I'm certain.
But I thought you said there were half a dozen cards with their corners torn off.
Yes, but only one that will exactly fit the one that I have here.
But I can hardly imagine the man you're looking for being wise enough to tear the corners from half a dozen and foolish enough to leave his own card.
You are a very intelligent young woman.
But very intelligent if you to realize it.
Now that he's in here, I can promise he won't get out.
I haven't any complaints.
The champagne's not too hot. In fact, it's lukewarm.
What do you expect, baby? It's free. See Naples and die. Boy, do you see what I see?
Now's your chance.
Gotta do things artistically. There's a different approach to each type. Watch me.
Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was somebody else.
Von Graum.
Smith. Clearly a case of mistaken identity. I'm looking for Jekyll, and I find Hyde.
Jekyll? Hyde? Oh, an English joke.
Well, hardly a joke.
Well, excuse me.
No, you mustn't go. Tell me more about yourself. I'm always interested in local customs and habits. For instance, what do you do with yourself?
I hunt for the enemies of the Reich.
Do you? Do you get much shooting? Oh, waiter.
Well, excuse me. I think someone wants me.
No, not until you've had your coffee. They tell me the British Embassy is the last place in Germany where it can be obtained.
In Germany, we have discovered that a substitute can be better than the real thing.
Ah, the story of the grapes.
Hmm?
Tell me, is it a fact that in your country there's no longer any freedom of speech?
Oh, lies. All lies from the degenerate plutocratic press.
Ah, is that so? Well, then you see that journalism is so untrustworthy, isn't it?
May I ask what brings you to Germany, Herr Schmidt?
A thirst for knowledge. I'm trying to discover whether there was or was not an Aryan civilization in this country.
There was.
Ah, some people say there wasn't, but I shall find out.
Here's a whiskey, Bussy. What do you have in it?
Absolutely nothing.
You know, it is extraordinary. Bussey's vocabulary consists of...
Absolutely nothing. It's sublime. It's ridiculous. It can mean anything.
And it can mean absolutely nothing.
It can even be an insult.
Or a password.
Tell me, I am curious. Your English humorist, Lewis Carroll, why does he write such idiocy? Listen. 'Twas Breinig and the slitty Tovies did gyre and gimble in the Wabe. Does not make sense.
But it does. 'Twas Brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy where the borrow grows, and the mome wraths outgrave. Well, it makes perfect sense.
But what does it mean?
It means whatever you want it to mean. You can either use it lyrically, or, as I'm afraid I do sometimes, in place of swear words.
Extraordinary.
As a matter of fact, you know, ever since I've been in Germany, I've felt exactly like Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, but Germany is a wonderland.
Oh, it is, it is.
But we have one problem. To be or not to be, as our great German poet said.
German? But that's Shakespeare.
What, you do not know?
Oh, I know it's Shakespeare. I thought Shakespeare was English.
No. Shakespeare is a German. Professor Schutzbacher has proved it once and for all.
Oh, dear, how very upsetting. Still, you must admit that the English translations are most remarkable.
Good night.
Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
What is that?
One of the most famous lines in German literature.
You haven't even told me your name.
It's Ludmilla.
What a lullaby. Millie for short?
No, Lucinka. Have you noticed the music stopped?
Oh, right back to earth again.
Let's talk about you for a change. Apart from being American, what are you?
I'm a student of archaeology.
Very funny.
On the level. I'm a member of the Professor Smith expedition and proud of it.
Smith? Oh, the vague person I saw you talking to. Who looks as though he hated coming into the middle of the room.
The greatest guy that ever drew breath.
Really? I always said one shouldn't go by appearances.
I could tell you things about him that'd knock the legs from under you.
You could? Then do.
No, I guess you'll have to take my word for it.
Then get me a glass of champagne to make up for it.
Sure.
I'm certain it's him. I've just been listening to him.
What did he say?
Absolutely nothing.
Why bother me?
But that's what he said.
Did you want me?
Yes. Our friend Marx thinks that it's that fellow there. What's your opinion?
I wouldn't have said so.
Oh, have you a better suggestion?
Yes. Yes, I would have said he was more likely. That man by the statue.
You can't be serious. Why him?
Intuition?
That amiable fool? I just wasted 10 minutes talking to him.
Well, that's what I think.
Intuition.
Oh, hello, George.
Hello, Horace.
I say, George, can I leave now?
My dear fellow, of course. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oddly enough, I did. Quite a pleasure to be on British territory again, technically. Oh, General.
Excuse me, I have friends.
Of course you have, but do you know the walrus and the carpenter? Evidently not.
In America, they regard German propaganda stories as jokes.
They are mistaken. In Germany, we never joke. Oh, here's that terrible fellow who's been haunting me all evening. He's following me about like a shadow. Excuse me. Well, what do you want now?
I want to arrest that man.
Who?
The man they call Bussy, the Earl of Meadowbrook.
Here in the British Embassy. Don't be a fool.
All the same, I want...
What are you doing with those?
Absolutely nothing.
Lovely trees.
A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
It's quite all right. Now, I know a balcony where there isn't so much traffic.
I find it quite pleasant here.
I've been looking for you all over the place. The professor's just leaving.
He would.
Well, oughtn't we to be going too?
Scramble, yeah.
My instructions are that I'm not to let you out of my sight.
Oh, have a heart, please. Stick around someplace.
All right. I'll wait for you on the staircase.
Another party?
Oh, just getting together with the rest of the gang at a beer cellar.
And of course there wouldn't be any balconies in a beer cellar.
Well, no. That is, it'd be swell if you could come, you know, but it's just a dump. I don't think you'd like it.
I bet it couldn't be any worse than Smoky Joe's on 6th Avenue.
Say, do you know Smoky Joe's?
Yes. Don't let it go any further.
Come on, this has got to be another party.
Shall I take your hat, sir?
Thank you.
Well, 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 well. Still at liberty, and they say the age of miracles is past.
Well, you put on weight, Dvorak. What's the news?
Democratic League's in trouble.
What, again?
Yeah, they've arrested their Polish editor, Kozlowski.
Oh, those hotheads.
Ah, Kozlowski's a great man.
Yes, I know, but I'm not interested in politics.
I know, but you should be.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Oh, good evening, sir. What was the party like, sir?
It was very instructive, Mr. Spencer.
What do you have?
I think I'll have a Pilsner.
Yes.
Who's that, new waiter?
Yes, he used to be in the telephone service.
Really?
He was dismissed. Little trouble with an SS man.
Oh, yes.
Excuse me.
All ready for tonight, sir?
Shh, not so loud. There might be a microphone hidden under the table.
You don't mean...
No, Mr. Elstead, I don't mean. We're perfectly safe here.
Look what's just come in.
And I wasn't allowed to bring my sister.
Who's the girl? I'm sorry, Professor. I did my best,
but someone else did better. I understand.
Hiya. Allow me to present Professor Smith. Prof, this is Ludmilla, a poem from little old New York.
How do you do? I had no idea you were so interested in modern poetry, Mr. Maxwell. Won't you sit down?
Yes, hi.
No, thank you very much, Prof. See you presently.
Well, gentlemen, I regret you were unnecessarily called to this rendezvous.
Oh, nothing doing tonight, sir?
On account of Mr. Maxwell's regrettable preoccupation with American poetry, there will be nothing doing tonight. But we meet at the excavations tomorrow. You can have my beer.
Oh,
good night.
Sir. Good night. Good night.
After you did Hannibal's route over the Alps, where did you go then? No, I'm very interested.
Well, I'll tell you.
Forgive me for interrupting, but haven't I seen you somewhere before?
Sure. Tonight at the embassy.
Of course. How silly of me.
Well, Prof, you'll excuse us. We're going to dance.
We've done quite enough dancing for one night.
Oh, you should have seen her. Why, she's as light in her feet as a butterfly on a daffodil.
Not a very happy simile. When daffodils are in season, butterflies are mere grubs.
Oh, Prof, that's hardly complimentary.
But scientifically accurate, as I rather expected the professor would be.
Thank you.
Oh, could you be an angel and get my handbag? I must have left it in the car.
Well,
Please?
Okay.
Well, We seem to be alone.
So we do. Your friend's been telling me all sorts of flattering things about you.
I see. I hope you didn't believe them.
Well, I prefer to judge myself.
Oh, then I must be on my best behavior. I should hate you to leave here with the wrong impression.
I should hate to leave with the wrong impression.
Naturally, naturally.
Who's the girl? I don't know who she is. He wouldn't come away without her.
But you were with her all evening.
But I don't know who she is.
She's terrific.
I've looked everywhere. It isn't there.
What isn't there?
Her handbag.
But it's here. It's been there all the time. Good night.
Good night.
What a very strange man.
A swell guy, but vague.
I wouldn't have said vague.
What, going already, Professor?
Dvorak, you see my impulsive young American friend over there?
I see him.
You see the mysterious young woman with him?
I see her.
Be a good fellow and investigate.
What, you think?
I don't think anything, but I'd like to know. Good night.
Good night, Professor.
Thank you, sir.
I think you've made a mistake. This is my room. Aren't you being rather unwise?
I want to talk to you.
I dare say you do, but this is neither the time nor the place.
Don't worry. No one saw me come into the room.
Then let's hope no one sees you go out. Good night.
No. You've got to listen to me. I'm rather desperate and I do need your help. You may not believe a word I say. But before I leave this room, you will believe.
Now, my dear young lady, I do wish
No, please don't say anything till you've heard me. Do you know of a Polish paper called Freedom?
I'm familiar with it, yes.
Have you heard of its editor, Sidomir Kozlovsky?
Yes.
Some weeks ago, he came to Berlin for material. He was arrested.
Yes, he would be.
They put him in a concentration camp.
They would.
He happens to be my father. I received a cable in New York, which I believed was from him, begging me to come at once. It wasn't from him, it was from the Gestapo. They had been trying to force him to give the names of his German associates, but he wouldn't speak. Nothing they could do would make him speak. So they hit on the idea of getting me over to persuade him.
And did you?
You don't know my father. He's fearless, unshakable. No two people were ever closer than he and I. He filled my life with love and tenderness. He's wonderful. That's why I don't care what I do to earn his freedom. There's nothing, nobody I wouldn't sacrifice for that. I think he's worth it.
Yeah, he must be.
He is. So I made a bargain with Brown. He promised to let my father go if I helped him find the man who's been responsible for all these escapes.
And have you?
Yes. But I don't want to be forced to give him away.
Why not?
Because I admire what he's doing.
Why are you telling me all this?
You are that man.
Dreadful nonsense you do talk.
I guessed at the moment I saw you. And the admiration of that boy David convinced me. You and your party were near the frontier post when Karl Plunke escaped. Your diggings were only a few miles from a concentration camp where a scarecrow came to life. You are that man, I know it. Aren't you? Tell me.
Well, won't that be enough for tonight?
Tell me.
I know you're quite harmless, but please, please go.
Before I go, you've got to choose. Either you help my father to escape, or I go straight to the Gestapo and tell them what I know.
Very well, go there quickly. I hope they'll prove less skeptical than I. on earth are you crying for? What have I done? You brought this all on yourself. I didn't ask you to come here. I'm horrified at the idea of a strange woman in my rooms. And a woman in tears at that. Or are they tears? Yes, they are. Well, they don't have any effect on me, believe me. Here, mop them up with that. You look awful. And don't you try any more fairy tales with me. Here, you've forgotten your... Have you noticed the delightful smell everywhere this morning?
You mean the egg?
Everything smells delightful to me, but of course you wouldn't understand that, Mr. Maxwell.
You're sure you feel all right, Prof?
I feel splendid, thank you. Now, Dvorak, tell me, why are you here so early in the morning?
You asked me to get you some information about a certain young lady.
So I did.
Well, I've got it. In the first place, her name isn't Coles at all. It's Kozlovsky. In the second place,
Don't tell me any more. Now I feel even better.
What is all this? Trailing a girl with whom I have a luncheon date.
Have you?
Sure.
Good. That'll save me a telephone call.
Prof, I don't get it.
Exactly. You made the same mistake I did. The trouble with us, Mr. Maxwell, is that we don't understand women. We've even forgotten they use powder on their faces.
Monsieur. Can I help you?
Are you French?
Yes.
You're not German?
No, I'm still French. This is a French shop, you see.
A French oasis in a German desert.
What can I do for you, monsieur?
Oh, yes, yes. Powder.
Powder?
Powder, yes, I like some powder.
Certainly, but what kind of powder? Bath, tubes, talcum, face?
Oh, face. Oh.
Any special make?
I beg your pardon?
Which make would you prefer?
Well, what would you suggest?
I always use Dory.
Do you?
Always.
I have some of that.
You won't regret it. What shade?
Well, what shades have you got?
Rosé, Rachel, Naturel, Ochre, Morez, Pêche?
Yes, I'm afraid all that's rather beyond me. I'll be back tomorrow.
But monsieur! What is she like?
Well, I really don't quite remember. She's sort of...
What's her coloring?
Dark.
Brunette. I know what you want. You take this.
I'll have a pound of that.
A pound?
Yes.
That will last a lifetime. This is the biggest box I've got.
All right, I have two of those.
Two? Very well.
Well, don't bother to wrap it up. I'll just take it the way it is.
All right.
Thank you. How much is that?
That will be 42 marks, monsieur.
42 marks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will you allow me? Gentil comme ça, n'est-ce pas?
Born in France?
Born in France.
It's remarkable. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello, Prof. Been to a wedding?
Good morning, Mr. Maxwell. Good morning. I hope you'll forgive me for having invited myself to luncheon.
Certainly, if I knew why you had.
Yours, I believe.
What's this?
Your handbag.
Thank you.
Yes, I would have run after you last night, but unfortunately everything fell and scattered all over the place.
I reached home before I realized I'd left you behind.
Say, when did all this happen?
As a matter of fact, your powder was spilled too, and I bought you some to make up for it.
You needn't have bothered.
Oh, there's no bother at all, there.
I see. My favorite shade. How did you know?
Intuition.
Yeah, what's going on? First you're darn rude to each other, now look at this.
Well, now to business. Where's the menu? By the way, whose luncheon is this?
Mine.
No, it's not. It's mine.
So's the bill.
Mr. Maxwell, if you heard that a very remarkable man had been imprisoned by the Nazis, what would you do?
My damnedest to get him out.
Isn't that amazing? Every now and then, he and I have exactly the same idea.
Could I have some water, please?
Certainly not. Dvorak, some champagne.
What kind of champagne?
Oh, dash it, I've had this conversation before. Any kind. Rachel, Naturel, the best you have, only hurry.
I don't know what to say to you. Can't quite believe it's true.
Suppose we have some nice cold trout to start with. And we'll follow that with...
I don't even know where they've taken him. No one knows, except the Gestapo.
He's at Grossberg.
What's this?
Milk-fed lamb cooked in creme de menthe. The things they think of.
She's been watched every minute. There's the report.
Went up to his room. Enterprising.
In my opinion, she's wasting her time.
Yes, the question is she wasting ours? This idiotic archaeologist. Lunch lasted 2 hours. Conversation appeared friendly and animated. He presented her with a box of powder. How gallant. How helpful love is. I don't know what the Gestapo would do without it. This is all nonsense. All right, show her in. Ah, good day, Miss Cole. Sit down. You're looking very radiant. It must be love.
I'm afraid not. Even though I did go to his room last night.
Room? Whose room?
The professor's. Didn't you know? As a new recruit, I made sure I would be followed.
Quite so. But we like to get our news at first hand.
Very well. Here it is at first hand. You were right and I was wrong. That professor's crazy. And so was I to think that he's your famous rescuer.
So much for your intuition, eh?
I made a mistake. And I'm afraid I made rather a fool of myself.
Oh, well, Rome wasn't built in a day, even by Mussolini. And secret agents aren't made in a night. You did your best.
And our bargain still stands?
Oh, but of course. I've given you my word as a party member. Isn't that enough?
More than enough.
You shall have another assignment. There are several persons I suspect.
You're very kind. Be kinder still and tell me something. How is my father?
Well, I'll find out for you. Let me see, he's at...
At Grossberg.
Of course. Bring in the Kozlovsky file. Would you like to see your father?
More than anything. You don't mean it. That wasn't in our bargain.
I wanted to give you a little encouragement.
I'd be so grateful if you would.
Thank you. He appears to be in excellent health.
Is he?
Oh, a transfer order. He's being moved to a more comfortable camp.
Will I be able to see him there?
Well, I don't see why not. Excuse me. Hello? All right. I'll be over straight away. Excuse me. I'll be back in a moment. Well, my dear young lady, I'm very busy at the moment, but I'll be sending for you again shortly, and I hope you and your father will be together again very soon. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Marx! I didn't believe her, Marx. I didn't believe her. But I do now. That idiotic archaeologist.
Sir?
But we've got to have proof.
But we've absolutely nothing against him.
You'll see, my dear fellow, you'll see.
Now, if you'd said the Earl of Meadowbrook...
On Saturday morning, I've got a job for you at Grossberg. And in the afternoon, I shall be there myself, to be in at the kill, as the English say. Have a chocolate.
I found out something. Something which might be of use to you. Look, I made a note of it. My father's being transferred from Grossberg to Riesenfeld on Saturday afternoon with 4 other men.
Who are they?
Schumann, Fleck.
Gruber and Holstein. That makes 5 altogether.
Yes, how did you know?
Never mind. Go on.
They're leaving Grossberg by car at 4:30 and arriving at Riesenfeld at about 6.
Now we're getting someplace. Wouldn't that be our chance, Prof? Saturday afternoon?
Possibly, yes.
Say, this is terrific. Where are those maps? Do you mind if I try to work this out, Prof?
Not at all.
Thanks. Now, here's Riesenfeld, and here's Grossberg. That's about 60 miles, say 45 miles per hour, starting 4:30. Now, we're parked in this road here somewhere.
Look, there's a wood at the bottom of the hill there.
Yeah, they'll be going through that wood about 5:15.
Yes, we can get a tree across the road. That ought to hold them up for long enough.
Yeah, then we can scoot down this side road here and catch the main road to Berlin. Here. How's that, Prof?
Sounds all right.
Why, surprise is a principal element. Surprise.
If only you could do something.
Don't worry, we will.
Well, if I can't be of any more use to you, I'll leave you. My taxi's ticking away.
Goodbye. Thank you for coming. You've done very well.
Goodbye.
I'll show you the way. Say, where's she going?
It's too late. You missed your chance.
Oh, well. Say, how's that for the plan, Prof?
What plan?
The plan of the escape.
Gentlemen, Mr. Maxwell was serious about this plan.
But we'll never get another chance like this.
Possibly that's exactly what the Gestapo wanted you to think.
This guy's got to be saved. Something's got to be done Saturday.
On the contrary, if we do anything, it'll be on Friday.
Friday? But you said Saturday was
Look,
the day.
Prof, what I found. Is it any use?
Any use? This is remarkable.
Say, listen, Prof, my plan.
1000 BC, I think. Never dreamt we had anything like this here. Wait till Oxford University hear about this. They'll be green with envy.
My plan,
Prof.
Prof.
This is astonishing, really astonishing. Thank you, Mr. Elstead. Thank you.
48 hours and he hasn't uttered a word.
Do you think he's thought of anything?
Let's ask him. Say, Prof, I hate to interrupt the seance, but have you thought of anything yet?
Thought of anything?
That guy Kozlovsky's got to be rescued.
Oh, yes, of course. That guy Kozlovsky's got to be rescued on Friday. And 4 other guys with him.
What, all 5 of them?
Well, of course.
Jeepers, creepers.
As a matter of fact, I have thought of something.
Yeah?
Yes. Have any of you gentlemen ever considered journalism as a profession?
Hey, listen.
No. You listen.
I'm getting them now. All right, here they are. I've tapped the private line.
Go to it, fella.
Propaganda Ministry? Gestapo headquarters speaking. Department X2. About those 6 American journalists, we are permitting their visit to Grossberg. The journalists who wish to accompany Herr Bodenschatz. You're representative of the Bund. What do you mean you don't know? Then find out.
Hey, take it easy there.
You wish to see... I've seen...
No visitors except by appointment.
How long have you been here? You don't know me? Ever heard of the American department?
Yes, sir. I thought...
Oh, don't apologize. See if you can find my umbrella. I left it behind the other day. Bodenschatz is the name.
Excuse me.
Well, just the man I wanted to see. You don't recognize me, but I remember you. I heard Dr. Goebbels say some very nice things about you. So, keep it to yourself. How's the baby?
We're getting married at the end of the month.
So, Now, how about the 6 American journalists?
What about them?
I'm asking you. If you don't know anything about it, get me someone who does.
Perhaps Herr Grabitz would know.
Grabitz should know. Now look here, Herr Grovitz.
Do you know anything of 6 American journalists?
No. Yes. Smells was just asking me. There was a message from the Gestapo.
Who's the head of the department?
Oh, Herr Steinhoff, but he wouldn't know.
We'll see.
Here.
Now look here, Steinhoff. Where are the permits for the 6 American journalists?
Permits?
Yeah, don't you say Heil Hitler anymore?
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
I don't think I know you.
Now, what do you know? Have you ever heard of America?
Yes.
Good. Then where are the permits?
But I want...
Now listen. I'm Bodenschatz, the man who got the Nazi Party those nice headlines in America where they don't like you. I'm the man who put the Nazi American Bund on the map, and you never even heard of me. Let this be a lesson to you, gentlemen.
But...
No, let me speak. I've come all the way from New York to correct your blunders with the American correspondents. I spent 2 whole weeks with them, trying to nurse them into a better humor. This afternoon, I was taking them to the Grossberg camp so they could cable the United States and tell them not to believe those stories they hear about the German concentration camps. You've got to spoil everything. I asked for permits, and you haven't got any permits.
No one told me anything about this. The Gestapo did telephone.
Oh, so now you're deliberately obstructing the Gestapo.
That'd be the last thing I'd do. Perhaps if you came back tomorrow...
Tomorrow? Do you want me to keep the representatives of 6 of the biggest newspapers in America waiting outside this building until tomorrow? Unless I get those permits in 2 minutes, you'll be responsible.
I'll be responsible.
Right. I know what I'll do. Get me Dr. Goebbels.
No, Herr Werdenschaft. I'll find the permits.
Well, find them.
There are some here, sir.
That's better. Now you can fill them up as we go.
As we go?
Certainly. Didn't I say you were coming with us?
No, I haven't. But
oh, this is too much. Please get me Dr. Goebbels.
No. I can finish the work at home.
Yeah, that's right. Now, we've been waiting long enough. Come along. You know, the trouble with you propaganda boys, you get so used to telling lies, you don't recognize the truth when you hear it.
But orders are orders.
Heil Hitler. You know, Grovitz, you're a smart boy.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you can do something for me. Ring up the Grossberg camp and tell them we're on the way. Have them prepare everything in the usual Ministry of Propaganda style. And remember, America is a soft-hearted democracy. You get me?
Leave that to me, Herr Woodenschatz.
Your umbrella, sir.
Oh, umbrella. Thank you. Dirty boots.
The journalists are just arriving, Herr Commandant.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
I'm Steinhoff of the Ministry of Propaganda. This is Herr Werdenschaft, the Nazi American Bund.
I am honored.
Heil Hitler. Allow me to present to you the Chicago Tribune, Baltimore Sun, New York Herald Tribune, Boston Transcript, Philadelphia Public Ledger, and the Scripps Howard Syndicate. 350 newspapers throughout America. Colossal.
349.
I beg your pardon. I love accuracy.
Welcome, gentlemen. Let me show you around our little camp. You will see how happy everybody is.
Come on, do your propaganda stuff. You can talk, can't you?
You see, gentlemen, there is plenty of food. Eggs, vegetables, bread, butter, jam, and fruit.
A real fruit. Ketchup!
Is everybody happy?
Yes, sir.
Everybody's happy. The eggs were fresh for breakfast?
Yes, sir.
The eggs were fresh.
For breakfast.
Good. In this hut, we have some men who were stupid enough to insult our beloved Führer, the editor of an anarchist Polish paper, and 4 misguided German contributors. Yes.
Well, I'm glad you've all learned the truth. In America, they have the idiotic idea that German concentration camps are full of unhappy people. And the truth is, the American people only pretend to be democratic. At heart, they are 100% National Socialists. I thank you. Well, goodbye, Wodenschatz. You were the quintessence of all the most objectionable men I ever met, but you served a noble purpose.
I don't often lose my nerve, but can't we get on?
All right, he's just coming. He's just been to telephone to make sure it's clear for you to go to your destination.
Ah. All fixed.
Halt! Left turn! All ready for visiting round, sir?
I'm ready. Carry on, Sergeant.
Left turn! March! Visiting rounds. Get up!
What are they doing down there? Stir them up, Sergeant.
Get up!
It's the Herr Commandant.
Herr Commandant, bring that light a bit closer. What's happened, sir? He's unconscious. Someone must have hit him on the head. Herr Commandant. Herr Commandant. Why didn't you know about this, you fool?
Oh, gee. Oh, boy. My head's like the inside of a beehive. Oh. Talk about pile drivers. Whew.
What's happened?
Journalists slugged by guerrillas. American flag insulted. Where's that phony Wodenschatz? He started it.
Alarm bell. Turn out the guard. Telephone Berlin. Gentlemen, my apologies. I don't understand. I'll get you a card, take you to Berlin.
Wodenschatz!
Ah, you ought to be pasted to the wall. Here, snap out of it, fellas, and get into these pants.
But, gentlemen, who could foresee the Gestapo telephone?
You give me 5 minutes with a transatlantic telephone, and I won't be a Gestapo.
Gentlemen, I apologize.
I say that.
How could a simple sort of man like myself imagine that instead of attempting to rescue your father tomorrow, as I expected you to do after you had so carefully examined my papers, you would rescue him today?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Your acting is very clever, but I'm getting a little bored with it. Your accomplice may have rescued your father, but please remember that you are still here.
My father's escaped?
Yes, astounding, isn't it?
Herr Reich Minister, Steinhoff is here.
Bring him in. Take her in there. Good evening. And you are the man who has just been bluffed by this obvious hoax.
The Gestapo must hold itself responsible.
For what? For the incompetence and stupidity of the Ministry of Propaganda? Wodenschatz. Couldn't any of you checked up on his story?
We are not policemen.
Unfortunately. Would you recognize the man if you saw him again?
I have an excellent memory for faces, thank you.
I may give you an opportunity to prove it before long. Marx! Ah, Marx, that archaeologist.
Professor Smith.
Yes, Professor Smith. I want to see him here at once. Bring him.
But did you want me? Did you want to see me?
Yes.
That's odd, because I wanted to see you.
Come in here.
Thank you. I'm so glad to find you're not busy, because I've been doing a little research work.
That's just what I want to do.
On the identity of Shakespeare.
I'd like to know how you spent this afternoon.
What's the matter with you? You seem upset. I spent the afternoon in the library of the embassy. Now, this proves conclusively that Shakespeare wasn't really Shakespeare at all.
No?
No. He was the Earl of Oxford. Now, you can't pretend that the Earl of Oxford was a German, can you? Now, can you?
No, no.
Well, there you are.
Herr General, how much longer am I to stand here? Have you anything to say to me?
Please, we have a visitor. I think you have met Professor Smith.
No. Good day. Goodbye.
But you have met Herr Wodenschatz.
Wodenschatz? Do you know Wodenschatz?
No. Should I?
Ah. Anyway, I didn't come here to discuss Shakespeare. If you want me, you know where I am.
The Earl of Oxford was a very bright Elizabethan light. But this book will tell you he was a good deal more than that.
I owe you an apology, Professor. Can you spare me a few moments longer?
With pleasure.
Here's somebody who will recognize you. Come in, Miss Coles.
Ah. The young lady who asks questions.
But doesn't answer them. Professor Smith, that was a remarkable affair this afternoon.
Oh, have I missed something?
5 prisoners escaped from Grossberg.
Oh, splendid, splendid. Oh, I beg your pardon. How annoying for you.
By a strange coincidence, Miss Cole's father was among them.
Well, congratulations, Miss Coles.
Just so. A few days ago, this young lady called here and obtained some secret information. She then went straight to your excavations.
Oh, why not? We welcome visitors. You must come one day.
Do you deny having received that information?
Really, General von Graum?
Because if the person who received it is not punished, the person who gave it will be. Well, Miss Coles, which is it to be?
What exactly do you want to know?
Just the name of the person to whom you gave that information.
I gave it to no one.
Then you will be court-martialed tomorrow on a charge of espionage. And you know that for that there is only one penalty in German law.
What's that?
The state execution of Magdeburg.
Oh, yes, of course. I'd forgotten. You've gone back to the axe of the Middle Ages.
But we wear modern dress. White gloves, white tie.
White waistcoat. The dress of an English gentleman at a dinner, a French gentleman at a wedding, and a German gentleman...
Yes, Herr Professor?
At a murder.
That's good, Herr Professor. I must remember that. Excuse me.
My dear child, to a man of peace like myself, all this seems incredible. But in your own interests, if you do know anything, wouldn't it be wiser to speak?
Take it away.
May I say a word? General von Graum, you appear to regard me with some suspicion. First of all, you confront me with an individual who's supposed to identify me as something or other, but refuses to do so. Next, you threaten the life of this young lady on the presumption that I shall make a gallant gesture and declare myself as this fellow you want. But I'm not in a position to do that.
I see. Go on.
Well, after such a procession of disappointments, you surely cannot intend to commit the crowning folly of cutting off your chief source of information. In the absence of any hint of subtlety, it doesn't surprise me that this rescuer has been so successful. Still, it's no concern of mine. I just came here to talk about Shakespeare. Perhaps you'd care to read about the Earl of Oxford. I do wish it were in my power to help you. Well, goodbye.
Professor, you should have been a detective.
Of me? Oh, thank you.
All right, Miss Coles. You can go.
Does that mean I'm free?
For the moment, yes. Perhaps the professor would care to see you home.
Oh, dear. I'm afraid I'm a very poor escort. Well, allow me. I hope you won't regret taking my advice.
I shan't.
Why did you let her go?
It's not her I want, you fool. It's him. That man, with his English superiority, seems to be mocking at our greater German world power. And I've got to get him. Got to.
Yes, Herr Reichsminister.
How are you feeling?
All right.
No, don't ask me any questions. We're not alone. Ah. How about a glass of wine? You need it.
But if my father's safe, why can't I go to him?
Because we want to keep him safe.
Is he in Berlin?
The fewer people who know where he is, the better. Here, drink your wine. It'll do you good. Excuse me. Do you like music?
No.
Good. Enjoy yourself. Waiter.
Sir.
Take some wine with my compliments to that unhappy-looking fellow over there.
Very good, sir.
Cigarette?
Is that him?
That's him. I've given him wine and music, and I'm afraid that's all I can do for him.
I think you're the bravest man I've ever met.
Well, you mustn't exaggerate, especially after your own remarkable courage.
But if you've no fear for yourself, what about those who depend on you?
Nobody does. I'm a bachelor.
I wonder why.
Well, I'll tell you a secret. Years ago, I fell in love. And I've been in love ever since.
Is she pretty?
Not pretty. Divinely beautiful.
Is she English?
No, she's Greek. Would you like to see her photo? I always carry one with me.
But that's...
Aphrodite Callipygos. The perfect woman. I found her at Lesbos. Ours is an ideal relationship, you know. They say no woman compares with her physical perfection. And as for her mental equipment, well, I tried to supply that.
Do you never wish she could come to life?
I've always thought that would be most unsatisfactory. In fact, during the last few days, suddenly she's become less real to me. Just marble. It's a pity.
Oh.
Well, I think we better be going now. And in opposite directions, I'm afraid. You better go first, alone. Now, I want you to trust me implicitly. It's going to be hard, but whatever happens, you mustn't get in touch with us or try to see us. This is going to be a battle of nerves. We're going to be watched day and night. But you must trust me to the end.
I will. I will, whatever happens.
Don't worry. I promise you I won't leave Germany without you.
Give my love to Father. And keep some for yourself. Goodbye.
A whole week. And what has happened? Nothing to report. Nothing to report. The girl has been to a hairdresser, and he has kept digging. Why? 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 What's his game? I can't stand this waiting any longer.
Say, Prof, we've dug up half Germany. What do we do now?
Dig up the other half.
Thank you. All that's for the Berlin Museum.
Thank you. I am most grateful.
Not at all.
You've been most helpful, Doctor.
I wish I could do more. One has to be careful.
I know. Thank you. What are you doing with that?
Just bringing a little sunshine into their lives.
Well, give them my love. What's the matter?
The Gestapo.
Where? All right.
This is where I go to work.
Go on, hurry up. Oh, David, I want to ask you to...
Gestapo. Professor Smith?
Come along, please.
You must excuse my coming unannounced, but you did invite me. I brought some of my boys.
Delighted. Well, what a large family.
You don't mind their taking a look round? They're so interested in your operation.
Not at all. Make yourselves at home, gentlemen. You know Dr. Fulrott of the Berlin Museum?
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Dr. Fulrott is making a catalogue of the relics which your government is permitting us to take back to England.
Professor Smith's discoveries have been quite remarkable. He's been most generous in his gifts to our museum.
So?
Yes, you'll be surprised what we've discovered about an early Aryan civilization.
What's in there?
Oh, relics of pottery, weapons.
Here?
Same thing.
And here?
A man. A dead man. Would you like to see him? There we are. Buried with all his weapons, you see. Presumably in the belief that there might be a rearmament program in the hereafter. Eh, Mr. Spencer? An ancient Teuton. Alas, poor Yorick. Get thee to my lady's chamber, my dear General. Tell her, though she paint an inch thick, to this favor must she come. Make her laugh at that. The Earl of Oxford wrote that, you remember.
Herr Reich Minister.
No. No? No. So?
What, going already? Then we better say goodbye, for we shall be leaving ourselves in the morning.
It's okay, boys. They've gone.
We'll never get out of here. Never. They'll watch us day and night.
Take it easy, buddy.
The professor won't fail us. We'll get away all right.
Yes, but how? Packed in bran and marked fragile.
Changing guard, sir.
All present and correct.
What are you taking so much care of?
Red herrings.
Hmm?
Red herrings.
Oh.
Well, what did you say?
He's gone, Fräulein.
Gone?
Yes. He left for England on the 10:30 train this morning. They've all gone.
But he can't have.
But it's true. I spoke to the hall porter who put their luggage on the taxi. They've gone, all right.
Thank you.
Miss Kozlowski? Get out. Sit down. I require some information which only you can give me.
Where are we now?
We're nearly at Feldenkirchen, sir.
What's the exact time?
2:47. Means we're 4 minutes late.
Good. Not very long to wait. You all know what to do?
Oh, yes, sir.
2 hours to the frontier. And with ordinary luck, gentlemen, our last adventure will be successfully concluded. In case there's no opportunity to do so later, I want to tell you now that your conduct throughout, in spite of occasional fits of lunacy, has been most exemplary. I do hope the trip has proved instructive.
It has, sir. I suppose we shall all be meeting again pretty soon at Cambridge, sir?
I wonder. I have an idea that our country may have more important work for us. Anyway, I do thank you all.
You, Steve.
Oh, goodbye, sir.
And you, Herbert?
Bertie, sir.
Bertie. And Jock. And,
Clarence.
Clarence, of course, yes. And David.
How did you remember all those names, sir?
Excuse the familiarity, Mr. Maxwell. Oh, by the way, I owe you an apology. I did my best at Cambridge to prevent your joining this expedition. I admit now that would have been a mistake. Oh, allow me to return to you your bones.
Take care of yourself, Prof.
I will. Now, gentlemen, I'm just going to take a little nap. Meanwhile, do your stuff.
Sure.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
That's the signal.
Excuse me. One of us has got to move, pal, and it isn't going to be me.
This is it.
We'll never get through, never. We don't stand a chance.
We'll all get through. We are in good hands.
I'm a bit nervous myself, Kozlowski.
Not Kozlowski here, please.
When we enter Poland, and it won't be long now, the restoration of order Scheme B is to be put into operation immediately. Understand? In Holland, Denmark, and Norway...
Minister.
Don't bother me.
A report from the trains. The professor is asleep.
Oh, the professor's asleep.
And the students are guarding the packing cases.
Don't bother. Did you say packing cases?
Yes. They had permits to take...
Packing cases. Precisely.
Train's coming in. Get ready there. Turn out those cases as soon as she stops.
Where is he? Here he is.
Oh, are we here yet?
But that's not him. You idiot, what have you been doing?
What are you guys looking for?
Professor Smith, with a warrant for his arrest.
Well, you'll be unlucky. He's not here.
Excuse me, but I saw a very suspicious character just now.
Where was he?
In there. But it's not a he, it's a she.
You old fool. Telephone headquarters, right away.
Hey, fellows! David, those thugs are breaking open our crates.
What?
Yes, madam, I'll attend to it. Give me your passport, please. Thank you. Cook's party, Cook's party. Passports, please. All your passports. Cook's party. I want your passports, please.
Oh, are you
Cook's party. Yes, that's right, madam. Passports, any more passports? Cook's party, any more passports? Come on, your passports, please. Thank you. Passports. Passports, Cook's party. Any more
Hey, what is it? We've a government clamor to clear this case. He's unopened.
Keep your mouth shut.
Well, please.
Cook's party, 9 keys.
Please. I wish to make a complaint.
Pass along, please.
I've been grossly insulted.
I'm sorry. Pass along,
I've
please.
been manhandled.
Madam, please, can't you see the officer's busy?
It's disgraceful. I'm a married woman. And in 30 years of married life, I have never been manhandled.
What can I do about it? All right, take your floggership away.
Come along, Cook's party, this way, please.
It's an outrage. I shall report it to the
Here,
authorities.
this way, sir. This way, madam, Cook's party. This way, my lord.
Thank you.
Right, come along, please.
Bits of stone. What did you expect? Ostrich feathers?
Aren't you gentlemen with the Cook's party?
Sure. Sure we are.
Well, come along, gentlemen, come along. The rest of the party's already across the frontier.
But I didn't expect.
I told you I'd come back for you.
But I thought...
That I'd forgotten my promise?
No. Yes. Grant's been here for hours. I don't know. They never left me alone. They said you'd gone away. They said my father had been arrested again. They never stopped asking questions. They never stopped talking.
Your father's safely across the frontier.
Oh. Is he?
Quite safe.
What have I done? You'll never forgive me for what I've done.
I'll never forgive you if you don't put on your coat. We haven't much time, you know.
Yes, but in the end, you see, I did tell them things. They tricked me into them. I didn't know what to do. It seemed the only way to save my father. They said they'd shoot him.
So, of course, you told them. You're so human. They haven't wasted much time.
Why did you come back?
Tell me, is there any other way out of this house except the front door?
Yes, the back door. And the fire escape. Why did you come back?
Because I said I would. Come here. Here, put this on. Yes.
Open up there. Come on, hurry up there. Oh. Out of it. No. Open up. Open.
They've gone. The fire escape. Come with me. You go down and bring the car round to the back. Wireless to headquarters. They can't have got far. Come on.
Well, I'm almost ashamed to have used that old trick, but it nearly always works.
What do we do now?
Now, in the immortal words of Mr. Maxwell, we scram. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave.
Any news?
Not yet.
I will not be beaten by that archaeologist. It's a matter of personal honor.
I can assure you, Herr Reich Minister, that every train is being checked and every frontier watched. He can't get away. In a few moments, I shall be able to give you some definite information.
Well, see to it. I'll get him myself, understand? Myself.
When do we get there?
About 25 minutes.
And then?
Then, England.
England? You've never been to England?
Well, there are varying opinions about it. There was an Englishman named Rupert Brooke, who was also in Germany when he said, God, I will pack and take a train and get me to England once again. For England's the one land I know where men with splendid hearts may go. And women with splendid hearts, too.
Good morning, Professor Smith.
Good morning.
Will you come with me?
What for?
I have orders to detain you.
I'm coming too.
No, madam, your train is waiting. Take this lady through the barrier.
I won't go without you.
I should be all right. Go straight to Montavier, Hotel Excelsior. Your father's waiting for you.
But you, can you manage?
I shall do my best. Hurry now, the train's waiting. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
This way, please. In here, please, Professor.
Well, Professor of Archaeology?
Well, Captain of Murderers?
You won't mind spending a few minutes with me until our special train arrives?
I take it I have no choice.
Very little.
This must be a big moment for you.
A minor satisfaction. I wanted to get you out of my system before I turn my mind to more important matters. You had become a great nuisance to me, Professor. Almost an obsession. But everything comes to an end.
What particular end had you planned for me?
Need we go into details? At least it will be quick.
But violent, I suppose. A strange end for one who despises violence. At the hands of those who worship it. The new German god.
Of course we worship it. Violence means power, and power crushes opposition. The epoch of the council chamber is over, Herr Professor. I tell you that power and strength and violence will rule the world.
Why are you sweating, my dear General? It isn't very warm. Are you afraid of something?
Afraid? We Germans fear nothing.
Ah, because you have a pistol.
Yes, I have a pistol. It has 8 bullets. 8 lives.
And I have 28 lives.
Odd.
Scientists, men of letters, artists, doctors. 28, saved from your pagan pistol. And all you've got is my humble self. Not a very profitable transaction.
We can afford to make a loss. Our profits will be tremendous. Tonight we march against Poland. And tomorrow we'll see the dawn of a new order. We shall make a German empire of the world. Why do I talk to you? You are a dead man.
May a dead man say a few words to you, General, for your enlightenment? You will never rule the world because you are doomed. All of you who have demoralized and corrupted a nation are doomed. Tonight you will take the first step along a dark road from which there is no turning back. You will have to go on and on, from one madness to another, leaving behind you a wilderness of misery and hatred. And still you will have to go on, because you will find no horizon and see no dawn until at last you are lost and destroyed. You are doomed, Captain of Murderers. And one day, sooner or later, you will remember my words.
Stop! Come back. You were never nearer death than at that moment.
How could one die better than waving goodbye to a friend?
All right, take charge of him. Take him out of that lab where I can see him.
Herr Reich Minister, be careful. He's only to step past the barrier, across the frontier.
That's exactly what I want him to do.
Ah, shot while trying to escape.
And by me. By me. All right, get out. I will protect you myself, Professor.
Would you care for an English cigarette, General? It might steady your nerves.
My nerves are perfectly steady.
They don't appear to be. Just an old-fashioned match. There's rather a valuable relic at your feet, General. May I pick it up to preserve it for the future?
No. I will.
How careless of them to have overlooked it. It's charming, isn't it? It proves, among other things, the complete non-existence of an early Aryan civilization in this country.
Silence! Get back! Who called you? Come back!
Don't worry. I shall be back. We shall all be back.